Welcome to this explainer brought to you by Forge College. Let's just jump right in, because today we are tackling a really massive milestone in our capstone project. We're looking at trade execution and wallet management. We're basically going to draw up the exact blueprint for teaching an AI how to execute a secure trade on the Solana blockchain. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So if you recall the previous lesson on building on-chain data adapters, we essentially gave our AI eyes, right? It can now see Pyth price feeds, watch the markets, and understand price fluctuations. But today, we've got to give it hands so it can actually press the buy button. We're moving from just watching the market to actually safely interacting with it.
And here's the master schematic for how we're going to do that. We'll go from observation to action, find the best route, handle assembly and preflight checks, tackle signing and secure execution, look at retries and idempotency safety, and finish up with logging and our next steps.
All right, starting with part 1, from observation to action.
We are officially transitioning our agent from passively watching those normalized price signals to taking a physical, measurable action on-chain. And it's basically a 3-step dance. Observation leads to a decision, which then triggers our execution script. And that script is the very engine we're building right now. The AI observes a favorable price, calculates that it's time to act, and fires off the execution safely. No more sitting on the sidelines for us.
Moving on to section 2, finding the best route. Because obviously, before we can fire off a trade, we absolutely need a map. We can't just throw tokens into the void and hope for the best. Enter the Jupyter Router client. I like to think of it as a highly efficient, kind of futuristic travel agent that finds the absolute fastest and cheapest route for our tokens across the vast, sometimes incredibly chaotic landscape of Solana liquidity. When we ask this travel agent for a route, Jupyter hands us back exactly what we need to build out our trade. We get the estimated output amount, the estimated fees, and the complete swap instruction bundle. It even goes ahead and calculates the estimated slippage so we can be sure we don't get a bad deal. It's basically handing us a fully packed suitcase, completely ready for the trip.
Okay, section 3, assembly and preflight checks.
Now it's time to assemble those Jupyter instructions and actually test our machine before we turn the key. We've got 2 main components doing the heavy lifting here. First, a transaction builder takes our route and packages it up with a fresh, recent block cache. And then, once it's perfectly packaged, we hand it right over to the RPC node for a really crucial safety check. Seriously, never skip the dress rehearsal. This pre-flight simulation is our ultimate safeguard against embarrassing and, honestly, really costly errors. Things like realizing you have insufficient funds or you've accidentally exceeded your compute budget right as you step on stage. The RPC node simulates the transaction against the current state of the network to guarantee it will actually work before any real funds are committed.
Which brings us to section 4, signing and secure execution.
So our machine is built, it's tested, but it still needs the magic sword, which is authorization. Without a valid signature, our perfectly assembled transaction is literally just a wish. To get that signature safely, we use the signer adapter. This is an absolutely brilliant abstraction layer from the Solana agent kit that signs transactions securely without leaving private keys scattered all around your source code. Because, as we all know, letting your private keys hang out in plain text is a massive, massive security risk. And this really highlights a core difference in design philosophy. A reckless AI just signs blindly, no checks, no nothing. But a smart AI uses a signer adapter and signs only after a successful preflight. As you progress through Forge College's wider learning programs, you'll deeply learn why we always build a smart AI that strictly separates execution logic from secure signing. It's just non-negotiable. Let's jump to section 5, retries and idempotency safety. Because out in the wild, things are absolutely going to go wrong. What happens if the network hiccups right as we hit send? Well, that's where the idempotency key comes to the rescue. Think of this key like a really strict bouncer at a club. It prevents our AI from accidentally buying a token twice if it gets confused during a network retry. It ensures that no matter how many times we accidentally hit submit because of a timeout or something, the actual transaction only goes through exactly once.
And speaking of retries, when RPC does fail, our code implements what's called exponential backoff. This is basically a delay that gets slightly longer with each try. It's being polite to the network while still making sure our trade eventually lands. So instead of spamming the network like an impatient gamer mashing a button, our AI takes a breath and waits just a little bit longer between each attempt.
Finally, section 6, logging and next steps. We absolutely need a meticulous paper trail of our transaction's entire lifecycle to satisfy our capstone requirements. Trying to debug autonomous systems without logs
is literally like trying to navigate a maze blindfolded. So by logging every single state, from route found to preflight pass or fail to signed, submitted, and confirmed, we create an easily debuggable system. If something breaks, these logs are going to tell you exactly which step tripped up.
If you take away just one core best practice from today's explainer, let it be this. Keep your when to trade completely isolated from your how to trade. Separating that decision logic from the execution logic just makes your code cleaner, it makes it safer, and infinitely easier to test and audit down the line. But all of this raises a rather terrifying final thought. Now that our AI has hands and can actually execute trades on its own, what exactly stops it from completely draining its own wallet on one really bad decision? Well, we are going to need to build it a conscience using some incredibly strict guardrails in our next lesson. To explore exactly how we do that and to dive into other amazing Web3 topics, make sure you visit forge.college. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.